Tim, for the audience, just to kind of get to know you a little bit better, how did you get into the industry, and like where did it start, and how did you end up where you are now, CEO, Pinnacle? Tell us about the journey.
So I did a BCom marketing IT in the UK. I worked for IBM during my sort of placement, as it was, with that degree. And then I came for, which is often the case from the UK, a gap year. I landed in South Africa, loved it so much. That was just after Mandela had been released. So it was a pretty awesome time to be in South Africa, to be honest. There was this great hope and feeling. And South Africans, I'm South African now, but it's such a wonderful, positive place. I saw an email from Paul Harris that it's kind of gone viral the other day about how, did you say, how positive South Africans are and smiling faces. So I just love that. I worked for a small IT distributor called North Coast Trading. Then I did a stint as an ISP, Kingsley Technologies, when ISPs were first starting, so I understood that market. Then we started a business called MMW, which we listed in '96, and I moved to Joburg as the MD. We sold our business into Siltec. So after Siltec's demise, I joined Pinnacle in 2002, and myself, Craig Novitz and Rudy Teets, those guys are now with Syntec. We started Pinnacle Cape Town, or we bought into Pinnacle Cape Town. 2005, the head office bought us out, and Craig was made the MD and I was the sales and marketing director. Craig left in 2010, and then Henry Ferreira became our CEO. I was the MD, then Henry left in 2015, and I became the CEO in 2015.
Tim, new year, new aspirations, but before we go there, can you give us a recap on 2024?
Good year, good growth, good turnover growth, mainly out of enterprise, end user compute, a bit of a contraction, challenges, but lots of potential growth with the future, Windows 10 end of life, refresh, AI. It's going to drive a new refresh in our humble opinion for 2025, so very positive.
That end date's 14th of October 2025, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you. I think from a support point of view, no more support, security vulnerabilities. I think there's massive uptake from an AI security perspective. And then, just looking at the technology itself, obviously, Copilot, a big one. Are you anticipating a lot of growth coming from Copilot?
Yeah, I think, look, the adoption, I'm not sure what the adoption in the marketplace has been on a anecdotal level. We've put 60 users on it. It's pretty much ingrained in our workplace culture with integration into Teams, summation of meetings, that kind of stuff. I would urge the end customers out there to certainly trial it. As you probably know, Dean, Pinnacle started an AI division, a separate company, and we're certainly having a lot of engagements with both resellers and end customers, with the resellers present on, what is the ideal model, and Jacques Fasachi is our lead there, and he's got, different bits of advice for different customers and usage models. For me, it's two conversations. A Copilot conversation is an end user compute, type conversation, which for me is a pretty simple conversation. Automation in your office kind of environment, in the office environment, as in Microsoft Office. The AI conversation is a slightly separate conversation with regards to your different integration of all your different data points and sources, and whether you use large language models and then run it on your data, and keep that in, sort of inside your organization. And those are the different conversations that end customers are having with their resellers at the moment. Dell's got some very, very interesting go-to-markets at the moment, and so does NVIDIA, as we all know.
And from a Dell perspective, largely around sort of the chipset, the user experience, the compatibility of the AI tools such as Copilot running on their machines. Is that pretty much where you see, like your personal view, where you see Dell at this point in time?
Yeah, look, Dell's definitely cutting edge from a AI perspective, from a server data center perspective in terms of end user compute. you know, they've got some interesting differentiating factors. We've definitely seen a huge uptake. Dell's had a very strong year. We've had a very strong year with Dell. So yeah, I agree there. It was great to chat to you.
Likewise, always. I think what we do need to do, Tim, is we need to have a showdown. So I think from that bridge over there, I think we've got to put it into race mode.
Are we going?
And we'll take it to the jetty line as the finish. Ready? There you go.